5 dangerous love blocks. Hello, my name is Chengi, and you, my precious one, of course, are my world. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. And of course, you're welcome here. I'm sending you a virtual hug. Send you a virtual bear hug. Okie dokie. So today we are talking about the 5 love blocks that are very, very dangerous. Now, first and foremost, what are love blocks, for goodness sake? Some of you kind of maybe have heard the term. Some of you is quite new. Really, to be fair, it's something that I have really come to develop for myself as I have grown in my understanding of energy, of spirit, and how it truly does, electromagnetic energy and just the energy of our thoughts and our minds and the energy of the things around us. Like Albert Einstein said, everything is energy. So we really want to, as I study and get to learn and know more about energy and how it works between relationships, I have come to realize that there are some things that are energy blocks. They stop that energy flowing as it should and kind of contain that energy so that it doesn't flow as it should, and as a result disrupt the flow of our hearts and the flow of the things that we want to achieve. We're a high value woman, we're great, we have our lives together, we care about other people, we are magnificent in every single way, but we don't understand why we're just having this wall where we just can't seem to break the wall. And for me, in my work with you beautiful women, as I go from one call to the other, there are 5 love blocks that I have definitely seen that are ripping through and causing love not to flow in the way that it should be. And I just want to discuss them with you, and perhaps as I bring them to your attention, you can think, yeah, that's me, and this is this is how I'm going to handle it, and we'll talk about that also in this video. So love block number 1, and in no particular order: family and parental expectations. One of the biggest love blocks, especially with ethnic minorities per se, albeit it's true of most cultures, people, races. The expectation of our parents on the choice of mate that we choose is crippling and stops our energy. When we meet the right people, the people that resonate with us, we are blocked. We're not able to A, find them attractive, B, see them for who they are because they block the energy. My dad made it clear to us as we were growing up that we were not to bring any white men home. And so, but of course my mom was in disagreement. So it kind of allowed a little bit of wiggle room because my mom had a different mindset around it. My mom actually thought we should only bring white men home. Okay, and that had to do with both their trauma wounds racially. But it did create for me a huge barrier when I was dating that I had to overcome, because as I started dating men from different races, I actually had the most incredible experiences that resonated most with my soul, or as much with my soul as dating men who were black. And I remember the massive conflict and eventually overcoming it and realizing actually love is just amazing when you let it flow. So we have, parents that would rather we married a certain type of man from a certain type of family, with a certain type of this and a certain type of that. And it creates within our energy field blocks. We really cannot, and we attract through energy. We magnetize people to us. So if there's a blockage, whether it's because he's black, white, short, comes from the wrong family, the wrong side of the tracks, doesn't fit the bill that your parents want for you this is massively blocking. And I don't believe that a lot of our parents understand that, you know, they are partly responsible for why many of us are single past a certain age, because deep down inside we sabotage relationships with men who we know subconsciously that our parents will not accept for whatever reason. And this is a love block that is preeminent and really shows up a lot in my coaching, either in the sense that we don't even go towards it, we're not open to it, or it's all we go for. So if your parents don't want you dating somebody of another race, that race is the only race that you will date, because you're in defiance and you're like, no, my parents want me to marry somebody who's black like me, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to date white guys. And if I see a black guy, I'm going to say no, because you're trying to defy your parents. You're trying to define yourself, and it's kind of like a bit of a rebellion. And actually, you're cutting yourself off from abundance. And I had a client who only wanted to date a certain type that mommy disapproved of. And I recognized that it wasn't to do with her own desires. It was really about rebelling mom. And so many of us fall into those traps, because when I assessed her and assessed the kind of men that she wanted, those were actually not the best guys for her. The ones mom thought were good were probably more suited, but she was in this rebellion mode. So, you know, in like a teenage rebellion, but way later in life. So sometimes we will do exactly what our parents don't want us to do and insist on doing it because we're just in defiance, or we block it from coming to our lives. Either way, it's a love block, because it might just happen to be that the person or the people that your family thinks are right for you are actually the right ones for you. Okay, but either way, you got to deal with that block and really define yourself. The next one is cultural and racial expectations. This is quite big in certain parts of the world, where there is a huge expectation culturally and racially that you will marry the same culture or the same race or the same tribe if you are of African descent, or, you know, have those concepts working in your culture. You know, this tribe doesn't marry that tribe. And it's not like somebody ever sat you down and told you this. It was just implicit in your culture. So this is a massive cultural and racial block. Then we have some feminist ideals. As you know, I'm not anti-feminist at all. I believe that the work that feminism has done for us women is to be much applauded, and there's still so much more work to do, especially in developing nations. You know, and I could go on and on and on and on, but there is always a flip side to every coin. For every battle won, there is a lot of collateral damage. And some of that collateral damage that has come forth from feminist ideals is that we are so hardcore hell-bent on dating like feminists. And I actually don't believe you can successfully date like a feminist. In the area of relationships, you can only date as a feminine woman or as a masculine woman, but you can't really bring politics into the matters of the heart, okay? And some of us are so hell-bent on establishing our superiority, and we're so hell-bent on establishing our equality that we are blocking the fluidity of complement, right? We're fighting for equal when we really should be working towards complementary energy, okay, flowing. And so if you've been raised very strong feminism and those idols working in you, that can work out as a block for you, okay? The next block is childhood trauma. There are things that happen to us in our childhood that we've not worked through, that we just have ignored, repressed, or put to the side for another day. And those traumas, whether it was not being seen, heard, understood, or whether it was horrific, like being raped or molested, or something trauma is not what happens to you, but it's how you internalize what happens to you. So that is that traumatic spot. It's not what happened to you, but how you were able to process it. And many of us were not able to. So deep down inside, we're still that abandoned child, that lonely child, that invisible child looking to be seen. And these things create blockages in our energy where we are not seen, heard, and understood in the way that we would want to, and we're not translating, and we're blocked in that way. So these are things that you can begin to work through. And of course, you can call either myself or any of my 2 coaches, and we can help you work through these love blocks. This last but definitely not least, because there's so many other blocks, but these are the 5 that show up a lot. The 5th one is entitlement. Whenever you feel entitled to somebody's love, time, attention, money, spending on you, then that feeling of entitlement becomes a blockage. It does not allow you to be a grateful, appreciative person who therefore magnetizes more of what she wants. So when you are entitled to a good man, and you're walking around the street with that energy, but I am entitled to a good man. We are not entitled to anything. What we deserve is not always what we are entitled to. You may very well deserve a great man. And if you've done the work and are doing the work and you're a good woman, you deserve it. And I'm going to be the first person to let you know that you deserve it. However, what we're entitled to is very, very different. When it comes to matters of the heart, you're not entitled to anything. Everything that a man gives you must be freely from his heart. And everything you give him must be freely from your heart. Everything in relationships that are healthy comes from a place of freely giving and freely receiving. Okay, so women with an entitlement, I'm entitled to a rich guy, a handsome guy, a nice guy, a Christian guy, or whatever it is. Once you have a sense of this is entitled to me, you are operating with a love block. You have an energy block, and you're not going to be open to what you deserve. So what do we do about these energies? We work through, communicate through these energies, and this is why I am here to help you. I and my coaches are here to help you work through and begin to define who you are as an individual, what you love, what you need. And this is the stuff that we cover in the mentoring club. We're able to help you in group coaching sessions to figure out who you are. But if you want to talk more intimately, you can book a call and or do the Soulmate Attraction System course, because the Soulmate Attraction System course will remove all of the blocks as you work through every single module. Of course, to access any of my services, do visit chengisworld.co.uk/shop, and you'll be able to access all the masterclasses, the Soulmate Attraction System course, the mentoring, get yourself subscribed to the mentoring club, and download any tools that you feel you need on my website. I look forward to seeing you on my next video. In the meantime, take care of you. Love you lots.